So when should you get pre-approved to buy a home? Well, as a mortgage advisor and someone who specifically works a lot with first-time home buyers, I'm going to be sharing my knowledge a little bit later today. And here's the surprise. It's the same thing I've been preaching across all my social media pages since I started this 3 years ago. Now, before we jump into that, let's clear up a common misconception of what's the difference between a pre-approval and a pre-qual. Now, basically a pre-qual or a pre-qualification is just you telling me, hey, this is why I qualify for a mortgage, and it's a very preliminary, not in-depth run through of your finances. Now, if you want a little bit more in-depth on this, I do have a video linked here or here, one of the two. I don't know, it's on one side. But basically, a pre-qual is a basic overview of your financial situation. There's no digging. I'm not double checking anything. You're not doing documents. You are basically qualified off what you tell me. On the other hand, a pre-approval is a slightly more detailed process. It involves a quick check of your whole financial history. We go through and you get an actual amount from the bank saying you are pre-approved up to this amount. So kind of think of a pre-qualification as a casual chat with a lender versus a pre-approval is more like a formal lender. Now, quickly, what are the documents you actually need for a pre-approval? First, you need proof of income. We're talking pay stubs, W-2s, and tax returns. It's going to depend on your situation on what you actually need, what kind of income you have, whether you're commission or salary or hourly or you own your own business. But basically, those are usually the documents you need for proof. Next is proof of assets. We're talking bank statements, thing to show that you actually have the money on hand in order to purchase the home. Now, if you don't have the money yet, that's okay. We'll get into that a little bit later. But basically, we just want to see that you actually have a bank account and that you have some money on hand to cover whatever closing costs there may be. Third and lastly is employment verification. Now, don't worry about this. Once you're pre-approved, we usually take care of this for you. We'll actually reach out to your employer and get a verification that you do still work there and that you make what you say you make. Now, jumping into it, basically, my stance is and has always been to get pre-approved before you think you're ready. Not before you want to buy, before you think you're ready to buy. But why get pre-approved before you think you're ready to buy? Let's start off with a story. Now, back in 2020, my wife and I had been going through Dave Ramsey's Financial Peace University course. We were a dual income, no kid household. I was managing a Dutch Bros Coffee on my way to ownership, and my wife was working in the real estate industry doing marketing and PR. Now, we went through the Financial Peace University from Dave Ramsey that my parents actually gifted to us as a wedding present, and we were on the Dave Ramsey kick. You need to pay off all your debt, including your student loans, and you need to save 20% before you purchase a home. So we did most of this. We paid off all our debt. We were starting to save for the house. I'd heard about some down payment assistance programs, but I figured they were all just a scam. And I wanted to avoid mortgage insurance, just like everybody told me to. So basically from there, 2020 happened. Obviously, COVID-19 hit. Before that, they actually changed the structure of managing and owning a Dutch Bro. So they took away the possibility to own for anybody out there wondering if you can buy one. You can't anymore. Right after that happened, we found out my wife was having a baby and she decided to quit her job to stay home. So after 2020, I spent about a year trying to figure out what I wanted to do and got into the mortgage industry. So fast forward to mid 2021, I jump in the mortgage industry. Now, what I didn't realize when I got into the mortgage industry isn't that I just switched jobs so I couldn't buy a home. It was that I switched industries and pay structures. So I went from an hourly employee working full-time to a commission-only employee where I don't get a base pay as a loan officer. When you switch to a fully commissioned job, you have to have 2 years of experience in that commission job to prove income. And even more than that, they take your income over those last 2 years and average it. So whenever you jump into a commission job from an hourly job, you're going to be making less even if you're making more. Now, what's the point of all this? The point is that during those 2 years, the real estate market boomed. We chose not to buy a house when we could have, because we wanted that 20% down and we didn't think we were ready. Now those houses that we could have bought are worth $150,000 or $200,000 more. Their interest rates are super high. But my biggest regret when I got into the industry is that I didn't talk to a professional before I thought I was ready. I thought I knew what I was doing. So the point of this is that we trusted ourselves over a trusted advisor or someone to actually go through our finances with us. All I was looking for was a house to live in. I wasn't thinking about this as an investment, as a future or a long-term thing. So knowing that story, here's my top 5 reasons that you should get pre-approved before you think you're ready to buy. First off, when you get pre-approved, it's no hit to your credit, but you learn your credit score and what's wrong with your credit. Now, this is vital because your credit score impacts massively the rate you get and what programs you qualify for. So knowing this ahead of time actually will give you time if you need to fix your credit or you need to pay off some debt. Anything to do to get that credit score up is what will actually coach you through. Number 2, you'll know exactly what you qualify for before you start searching. So instead of wasting your time going out looking on Zillow at those houses that you love, you're going to have a realistic idea and expectation of what you can actually afford. Not just the house price, but also the monthly payment. Now, the reality is this helps you stay realistic as the buyer. You understand what you can actually qualify for and afford. This helps you understand what is realistic. Now, I'm just going to say, do yourself a favor once you understand this. Instead of getting all down and saying we can't afford the home we want, get realistic about buying the home that's going to work for you for the next 5 to 10 years. You're probably not looking for your forever home. This is a long-term investment, not short-term. It's not about just enjoying what's right now in front of you. So remember that when you do get pre-approved. Third, it helps us figure out a time frame for purchasing. Now, if there are any issues with credit or finances, you don't have a down payment, this actually helps you get on a time frame. And I cannot tell you how many people did the opposite, where they thought they were 1.5 years away. And then we went through the finances, went over some different programs for them, and they found out they were actually only 2 to 3 months away. So getting pre-approved can help you figure out what's realistic. Because you think you know what's best, but the reality is you're not a professional at this. You're not dealing with this every day. Now, in the end, one thing you should understand is this should always be your decision. You should never feel pressured into buying, but we're here to give you the information and educate you on what needs to happen. Fourth, setting up a plan with a knowledgeable mortgage advisor. And that's me. I work together with you to help you improve your credit score and your financial structure to make sure you are ready to buy when it's your time. Financial strategy in this industry is massively overlooked. People think you need to make this much money and you need to have this much of a down payment and then you can buy a home. But the reality is this is not just a place to live, and this is not based on just how much you make or how much savings you have. There is a strategy to getting people in a home. So as a mortgage advisor, I do a lot of goal setting with people to help understand what they want this home to do for them. Are they trying to use the equity to buy something else? Is this turning into an investment property? Is this just a forever home? Is this a starter home and they want to upgrade later? Do they even want to be in the state in 5 years? We talk through all these options and help you figure out what actually makes sense for your long-term plan. Now, the fifth and final point is that this is free. Now, a lot of people get worked up about, is there going to be a credit pull? Will it affect my credit? Am I paying you for this? You're not. When I do a basic pre-approval, I do a soft credit pull, so it does not show up on your credit report. And up until you get into the fully underwritten pre-approvals, which I talk about in that video that's going to be at the end here, you're not doing a full credit pull. And there's no cost to you. And the benefits of this are truly priceless. Now, take it from me, I wish I would have done this. So if you haven't yet, reach out to a mortgage advisor that you trust, because it is worthwhile to get a realistic financial picture of how long it's going to take you to buy a home. Now, getting pre-approved is a smart step forward, no matter if you're 2 months or 2 years away from buying a home. And a reminder, you're not wasting anybody's time by doing this. We are here to help. My goal is to get you on track. So even if you are 2 years away, in 2 years, I'll be following up with you and checking in that entire time. And that I hope that you end up using me when you do purchase. I want to bring more value than just getting you into a house. I want to help you be financially set for a long term. And that's where the goal setting comes in, and working with a trusted mortgage advisor and not just some loan officer at some bank. You want someone that's invested in you and has your best interest in mind. So if you found this helpful at all, thank you for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe and notification button, shoot a like down below, or shoot me down in the comments. I would love to answer any questions you have on this, or if there's anything you feel like I didn't cover. But until the next time, hopefully you found this helpful, and I'll see you soon.